I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. The Bible says that Jesus, in the last days, when he returns, he will ask, when I was sick, did you visit me? When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was homeless, did you provide for accommodation for me? When I was naked, did you clothe me? And when I was in prison, did you visit me? There is another passage in the Bible where Jesus went with his disciples to go and have a period of rest. And then a large crowd came and they were with him for 3 days. And then the people were hungry and weak. And Jesus said, how do we take care of these disciples? These followers. The main disciples said that this is a remote place. Where can we get something to buy for them? Let's send them away. And Jesus said that if we send them away, they might die and collapse. They might collapse on the journey back home. So Jesus had compassion on them. And then 5 loaves and a few fishes were gotten. He praised the Lord, prayed for them, gave to the disciples, and people were fed. 5,000 people, excluding women, and 12 baskets were picked up after the feeding. Now, the disciples were more concerned with how to feed them. They were not very compassionate. Jesus did not come for these big structures we are building. He did not come for the systems we have put in place. He did not come for the strategies we have put in place. Neither did he come for the dollar sign. So he came for number 1, souls. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. Souls. The next thing is provision of solutions to the needs of humanity after another is salvation. We seem to be more interested in the testimonies of healings, deliverance, and all that. Fine as they are, it is our empathy to the needs of humanity that is uppermost. That's why you will say, I healed this, I did this in your name. Say, depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. We had a love feast in the church about 30 years back. 30 years back. And a pastor was sitting near me. I've shared this before. A graduate, very compassionate and energetic evangelist, loves God. And out of my usual self, I put my hand on his shoulder during the love feast. After the love feast, he interpreted the hand I placed over his shoulder as comradeship, as fellowship. And then he opened up to me that as we were eating the food during the love feast, that he was thinking of his children at home, that there was no food at home. And so I called him the next day. My wife and I packed all we could pack, dresses from our house, and gave to him to take home. We were in this big church with cars parked outside, with multi-millionaires, with prosperity gospel, but there was somebody in the altar hungry, a pastor. And that's the situation in this country, in most of Africa. On Sunday, my pastor was to go preach at a church, and his car was not around during their Thanksgiving, and I volunteered to drive him. My pastor is younger than I am. I taught him in the Bible school. But I felt that it was not good for him to take public transport. It will take him so long to reach where that our branch church is. So I volunteered to drive him there. And I've been doing that with my bishop and several. So I drove him there. And since the Thanksgiving service was in my community, I also felt I should be there. They didn't invite me. So I didn't sit in the altar. I sat behind. And he finished preaching. He said that those who can bring 3,000 naira should come out. I don't know. They want to use it to develop church. Me, I'm not against that. But before we went, I saw a young girl go to meet the father, who is a member of our own church. And the father told her to go away. And the girl left angrily. So as we drove, we caught up with her. And I asked her, what was your problem with your dad? She said that she did not eat last night to bed. She slept hungry. And then she came to church. We did all the declaration of what God can do and all that and all that. And she had clothes. She went to meet the father who works for me we don't owe workers. But sometimes these monies are not enough. And the father said there was no money that she should go away. And I was thinking, young girl has matured, slept without food yesterday, coming from church, going back home. The father could not provide. I had at one time given assistance to the mother to start doing her business with the Hawkers Economic Leverage Program that we do. Now, nobody knows their pain in the church. And I was thinking, this girl will now go. If a boy offers food, the girl will easily succumb to the temptation. So I took money and gave to her, at least to eat. I will subsequently sort out long-term solutions. And then we went to the church to preach. And I told myself, this Thanksgiving I was doing is not to give the money to the church. I will give 100,000 to the pastor for pastoring in my village, agreeing to pastor. I've said this in one video, I can't remember. Agreeing to pastor, gave him 100,000. Then I called out 5 women that they had nothing to do. I gave them another 100,000. I called 5 children. 4 sang in the choir. 1 was a drummer. I gave them 20,000 to join to pay their school fees next term. 300,000 I gave to them. They are the real reason for the church, not the structure we want to build. If we build them, I think it's Rema also, who came back and gave how many millions to his church, his mother's church, when they lost their father and everything was very hard. It was the church that provided. Let's start seeing the people, the souls, as the purpose of the church, not the structures, not the systems, not the cars, not the whatever. Let's take the people as the reason Jesus came. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. We have a webinar coming up on the 6th and on the 7th of this December, a few days from now. Send a message to +234 80 21 21 92 62. 80 +234 80 21 21 92 62. It will show you how to register. And then I have properties for sale. God bless you.